Driving it home with Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez.
From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says, and politicians getting caught grabbing asses says, she's driving it home with Patti Vasquez.
Hello, and thank you so much for driving home with us on this lovely, it's albeit steamy Wednesday. Joining me in studio is my guest co-host, Ken Mejia Beal. He is the chair for the Midwest of the Victory Fund.
Yeah.
And we're excited about having a guest on
Yeah,
here
we're going to
tonight.
have one of our candidates on from Michigan, which is in the Midwest.
I love that you're like a candidate. You can tell us who the candidate is coming up at 6:30. That's in a little bit.
Joanna Wiley.
Exactly.
Whaley, sorry. I don't say people's names because I mess them up. See, I allow you to mess up.
Oh, that is my standard operating procedure.
And
Sorry
then
about that.
I pretend like I know how to pronounce it, but I
I'll get
never
your name
do.
right, I promise.
I never do.
It's just that my tongue gets ahead of my thoughts.
I just can't pronounce it.
That sounded
anything.
weird. I apologize to everybody involved. You know, one of the things that I most remember about the summer before the pandemic and the world shut down was one of my favorite events that I had not been to before, which was Eddie Fest at the Labor Day Parade with CFL right now joining us as the president of the Chicago Federation of Labor, the third largest central labor council of the national AFL-CIO. Welcome back, Bob Ryder.
Well, so for the listeners at home and in their cars, what you're not experiencing right now is Patti Vasquez was literally shifting out of a conversation with Ken and I and said, "Hey everyone, welcome to."
I'm used to it, Bob.
That's how the show is.
You know, hey, whenever you can see the magic behind the scenes and how someone can shift from a personal conversation to the live on air, it's amazing. It doesn't look like there's any camera here. Is there a camera in here for us? Oh,
yeah, there is.
Oh my
right
gosh,
in
it's right
front of you, Bob.
I was gonna. Wow, I should have worn my baseball hat.
It has been a minute since you've been here.
When's the last time you were here?
Before the pandemic.
Oh,
2018.
Yeah, the last
maybe?
time I was a guest in studio on WCPT was a very long time ago. I've been on WCPT.
Yes, on my show in particular, and other
yes,
shows.
as a call-in guest and also live at the DNC. But it's like, as I was telling Patti, a couple days ago, we were reminiscing. I was an occasional fill-in host, and I also, was on a regular segment with Ben Jarofsky, who used to do Drive Time here.
Yeah.
I was on every other Thursday from 3 to 4, and I just basically hijacked that hour-long segment, and Ben and I had a
I'm sure
good
Ben
time.
did not complain.
Oh my gosh.
You also gave me a tremendous amount of time and a great interview at the DNC back in 2024
Yeah,
as well.
no,
I think the last time we got to interview you for a nice extended. Oh no, also for the results.
Yeah, he was there for the results.
Nights.
That's the night we met. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, we did that over. We did that over at the Bricklayers.
The
Yes.
Bricklayers.
Yeah. No, that was.
Thank you,
again,
Bricklayers.
Yeah, again, that was not in studio. That was a remote,
Yeah.
but it was a great time. You guys are not we're awesome, because I don't want to talk in the past tense, because you are awesome.
Oh,
We're
there you
here.
go. We'll take it.
Thank you.
We'll
We're
take
here,
it.
and I'm excited to be here.
Well,
to talk.
I've got some time off coming up, so maybe I pair you two for a film show. I'm just saying.
When she called me today, you're going to laugh and you're going to cringe, but that's okay. She goes, Bob's going to be in for the first hour. And I guess she was worried about you infringing on my ego.
He's my hump day honey, just so you know.
And I was like, oh, that's awesome. And she goes, and Bob likes you. It'll be fine. I was like, I'm fine with Bob. It's great. It's great.
Don't you love when a conversation you have gets sort of like, it's like the weirdest game of telephone that was already only between two people?
It's cool.
So one of my goals today is to get Ken down to Eddie Fest, and
Yes.
and should I do the?
Yeah.
I don't know if you have time for the hard pitch right now. I can give everybody the
This is
overview.
you
Go
it's not
for
a
it.
hard pitch. We'll
Let's
take
do it. It's not hard getting Ken out of the
Batter up,
house.
everybody.
So let's do it.
Ken, we're friends on Facebook, right?
Yeah, of course we are.
Yeah. I don't know. Have you seen any of the promo videos that I've put?
So I have not been on. I don't go on Facebook.
You don't have to make excuses.
Okay.
You don't have to make excuses. They're on Instagram
It's the
too.
second time I've watched this happen.
We'll get into this.
Let's
in
do
a
it.
second. So Eddie Fest and the Chicago Labor Day Parade is happening on September 5th. In the 10th ward of Chicago, returning to the 10th ward of Chicago. The parade, Ken, this is amazing. The parade is going to happen from 112th to 106th Street in the 10th Ward. So we're marching north on Ewing Avenue.
Nice.
On Ewing Avenue. We'll start out staging around Eggers Grove. And then at 12 o'clock, again, Eddie Fest, named for oil can Ed Sidlowski, Sue Garza's former alderman of the 10th Ward. Sue Garza, her father, was very active in the steelworkers unions, named Eddie Fest, is going to happen in Steelworkers Park at 87th and Lakeshore Drive. And we're doing this, we're returning to the 10th Ward in partnership with the 10th Ward Alderman, Peter Chico. This guy's incredible. Him and Sue both have been great representatives of that ward. I worked with John Pope, who was before Sue. I've always, the 10th Ward reminds me of the town I grew up in, Lockport, Illinois. Which is a suburb of Joliet.
Yes. Yes.
I was born in Joliet. It's the same vibe. It's the same ethic. It's the same aesthetic.
Right.
Lockport was an old oil town next to Joliet, which is an old steel town.
Yes, it is.
So we get to Eddie Fest, Ken. Eddie Fest, it's going to be amazing. And Patti, he hasn't had the full sales pitch. That's why I'm just locked in on him.
Yeah.
I know you're going to be there.
We're gonna have a table and tent.
Okay, then
We're going.
Hang on.
Okay.
Hang on. There's more. More. So we're going to have a band that we had with us last year when we did it over by the Pullman National Monument.
Okay.
Netta Sherrill and the On the Run band. Netta Sherrill, she's the bass player in the band, and it's her band.
Nice.
She's the bass player, and she's the band leader. It's not classical music. I don't know if band leader is the appropriate term. I'm sort of a rock and roll guy. This is a rock and roll type of band. Like
I got
R&B.
nervous when you said band leader. I was like, oh, you're talking me out of this real quickly.
No. No.
The horn section will be ready to go.
Yeah,
Netta Sherrill and the On the Run band. There's nothing that I love more, and so I'm sort of hyper focused on Netta. It's a union band. Awesome. And there's nothing. I grew up listening to bands like New Order, and bands are very, both.
I love New Order. Yeah.
The punk, the new wave, and even the metal stuff that I've always liked is the stuff that's very like bass lead driven, right? So Netta Sherrill and the On the Run band. So we're gonna have them, right?
Amen.
We're gonna have DJ Chase, who's a DJ from the 10th Ward. We're going to have, during the parade, DJ James Villar, and Don's brother, who's also a DJ and a member of the Musicians Union. DJ James is awesome. DJ Chase is very popular down there in the 10th Ward. We're going to have beer.
Oh, I'm in.
We're going to have beer.
That's all you needed.
We're going to have food.
Nice.
We had someone who's a psychic sign up yesterday. So they're going to be out there in the marketplace area. I haven't came up with the official festival. I'm drawing out the map to name everything.
Right, I love it.
We're gonna have the superstars of POW Wrestling. We're gonna have a full wrestling card that's gonna start about an hour into the festival. We're gonna have surprises. You like surprises?
Who doesn't like surprises?
Who doesn't like surprises? We'll talk off air though.
So we announced the first match for the wrestling card today. It's going to be Melanie Cruz, who is a former star for the AEW, All Elite Wrestling, which was started by a guy named Tony Khan, who's from the Champaign-Urbana, Chicago area. Him and his dad own the Jacksonville Jaguars. They own, I think they own Manchester United too.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, but Tony's an old school wrestling fan. This has been his passion project. They're on AEW's on TBS and TNT. Melanie worked at AEW before she took a break from wrestling. She's coming back and she's wrestling from Chicago, Brittany Kay. Brittany's an amazing wrestler, Black Chicagoan woman. Extraordinary athlete. If you want, check out Brittany Kay and Melanie Cruz on YouTube. Women in that industry, they are some of the most incredible athletes that you've ever seen.
Yes, they are.
and I'm excited that that's the first match that we're able to announce. I'm very excited
That's awesome.
about.
Well, Bob, I'm in.
Yeah.
Like, in case you need comfort, I'll be there. I'll be there with Patti.
Yeah. Well, so we're gonna have stuff for the kids.
Yeah.
We're gonna have face painting.
You're talking me out of it
Yeah,
again, Bob.
we're gonna have face painting. We're gonna have bouncy house. You're gonna have, if you have friends that have kids, we want stuff for the kids to do.
No,
right?
I get it.
We want
kids
stuff
are
for the
people
kids
too. I understand.
And I'm working, so we're gonna have this thing for the solidarity stage. One of our affiliates is the teachers are gonna be doing something on stage about voter protection.
Nice.
So we're gonna have music. We're gonna have DJs. We're gonna have wrestling, and we're gonna have other things happening on the solidarity stage, including the voter protection skit. But we're also I'm looking. I talked to Patti about this. I'm looking for someone.
Yes.
Okay, maybe you can help me with this.
Oh, boy.
I think it would be. We have the psychic,
Yep.
right? The psychic's going to be there. I'm very excited about that. Do you happen to know anybody that does close up magic?
It's so funny. I used to work.
No,
so
I
I used to work at the
don't,
Round. I'm
actually.
trying to remember. I worked at the
Doesn't everybody-
Roundhouse. I worked at the Roundhouse Comedy Club years ago, and there was a up close magician that was great. Did all kinds of card tricks and all the whole thing. So
The funny thing is I go around and I start asking people for close up magic, and they're like, "Are you insane? What is close?" I mean, close up magic is actually, the term for magicians who will do like street
magicians,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a term for it. It's people who work directly in the audience, and they're they're amazing. They're not doing big production stuff.
Right.
Patti and I were talking about juggling, and here's the reason.
Okay, there you go. I was like, somebody just asked me about jugglers the other day.
that was me.
Okay,
Like, what do you
thank
think I
God.
know the circus acts?
So if you go on Facebook or Instagram and go to @BobWriterJR, go to Chicago, go to @Chicago Labor and the Chicago Labor Parade. If you go to any of those, the websites, you go to our my website, the CFL's website, and the Chicago Labor Day Parade. It's our handle and our web addresses, and you find these videos. You're going to see me. I'm on a quest to find out
I'm doing that right now.
what my lane is, what I can do as the people at the Chicago Federation of Labor, the people in Peter Chico's office, everybody is doubling down on making this an amazing event. So I, instead of being the person who gets to promoted, who's, gets to walk and wave during the parade, I want to lean in.
Yeah.
I want
Yeah.
to lean in. I want to do something, be hands-on. I'll be there to help set up and clean up and whatever I need to do, but I want to lean in. So the reason why the juggling came up, I did this whole thing where I was talking to Gus Fugit, who's from my office,
Yep.
who's our community services director and also does some of our transportation policy. He's been pulling all these things together. And I said, Gus, I got it. People love juggling, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe my thing is, and I'm not talking about any juggling. You got the bowling pins.
Yeah.
You've got
Fire.
You got fire.
Yeah.
Some people they juggle the chainsaws. I think the chainsaws, I think it's not appropriate because you get.
I don't think insurance covers that.
Well, you don't want anybody to catch a chainsaw, right?
No,
so I
you
get it.
don't.
So we're not doing the chainsaws.
Thank
but
you.
my idea,
Okay.
my idea, and I've had a lot of other ideas. There's me playing guitar. We were talking about a dunk tank with hot sauce. I'd wear a
gosh.
I'd wear one of those old diver suits. Did you ever watch Family Classics?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, you remember
Yeah.
Family Classics, and they would do like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea,
Yep.
and they have the guy in the big diving suit with the cast iron helmet and the little window.
There's one where John
I-
Wayne
I-
actually
I-
beats it to
I-
have in one of those suits.
I figured I could do that in the hot sauce dunk tank.
That's so funny.
But, people aren't feeling that. I talked to my son about maybe doing some special food. I would do funnel cakes with pulled pork and cheese and
Nice.
liver and onions on the funnel cakes.
Wait, I don't know about the cheese and liver and onions. She's losing us again.
Yeah.
I love this journey we're on. Go, keep going.
So I thought, how about Peter? I went to Peter Chico. I found these balloons that look like footballs and soccer balls.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
I asked, have you ever met Peter Chico?
Probably. I think so.
You know
Yeah.
Peter Chico. And I said, Pete, I don't know if you've ever played sports, if you work out or anything. And Patty's looking at me like I'm crazy.
Where's this going? I want to know where this is going. Peter Chico
Yeah.
working out and doing sports.
Yeah. I mean, the guy's a monster. I mean, the guy's he's not a monster, and like he's when I say monster, I mean if you see this guy's got 2 or 3 inches on me, and he's got some of the broadest shoulders you'd ever find. I mean, he looks like literally like he could step onto a football field. Right?
Got it. Okay.
But I had balloon football and balloon soccer balls. So none of that is working out. Everybody looks at me like I'm a lunatic. So this my real idea, and this is where I got to the juggling with Patti, is juggling Jell-O. And now, and by the way, not in the cups. I thought about the cups, but the cup, you can't juggle the cups because the cups got edges on them, and that's like the same thing with the chainsaws. I could cut my hands. A cup of Jell-O gets loose. They're catching the area next to the pull tab on the Jell-O.
Okay.
Some kid catches.
So we're juggling Jell-O.
So what I was thinking, and this is how you do it. And when I was walking through this with Gus, I had some cherry and I had some orange Jell-O. We could do lime. We could do whatever.
Sure.
Grape.
Let's do that.
You take the toothpicks. I don't know if you ever seen this before. You take a toothpick with the Jell-O because you don't want the Jell-O to come out all messy. And you take the toothpick and you put it around the edge of the Jell-O cup and you loosen it up.
Yeah.
And then
That's
you
how
flip
you
it
do
over.
Yeah.
And
We're
then
all like, we know how to do Jell-O shots. Sorry.
And let me ask you, when was the last time you saw anybody juggle loose Jell-O?
Never.
Right.
Never in
Never.
life.
And you should have seen the look Gus gave me. He again, another guy thinks I'm completely out of my mind.
Was it this look?
Yeah. Look just like so.
That's the bit.
Yeah.
So Ken, here I'm gonna do this one. My next idea.
Oh God.
I'm gonna, instead of doing a video. I mean, I guess it's on video. We're gonna do this live on air.
Okay.
Right.
Get the tarps out.
Yeah. Live on air. Will I be able to pick this up because I'm going to want to share it with the public?
Yeah, this will be.
Are we doing this
online,
live
so-
on air to hear?
Yeah, we're going to do it right now. I'm going to tell you my new idea.
Oh God.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
You can tell it right to the camera if you want to tell the audience. Yeah.
I'm talking to Ken. This is
yeah.
this
Ken is horrified.
I know. That's what I'm trying to Ken's like, I don't know what to do with this information.
No, I think you're going to get Ken. Where did you grow up at?
South Side.
South side of Chicago.
Yeah,
So
79th.
yeah. So you're a Chicago person. You
Yes.
get that. So in the summertime in Chicago.
Yeah.
People love ice cream.
Yes.
Right? Ice
Yes.
cream. People love. Did you ever go to Taylor Street? Have you ever had Italian ice?
Yes.
People love. Do you remember? I don't know. Did you ever have push pops?
Yeah, I love push pops.
Oh my God! You get
So
the little.
good.
You get the little orange sherbet,
yeah.
You push it up through the little.
I love the Flintstone push pops. Yeah.
And nothing was more popular in Chicago than a Choco Taco.
Yeah.
I was just talking about
And
Choco
when Good
Tacos.
Humor, when Good Humor got rid of the Choco Taco,
They ruined my life.
yeah.
Yeah.
And another thing, and you go to carnivals, festivals. I used to watch my dad race stock cars down at the old Joliet Memorial Stadium.
Okay.
You could go, and this is again from downtown to the southwest suburbs to the northwest suburbs. Any festival, carnival, you go into a neighborhood, snow cones.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, because snow cones are so easy. You grind the
Yeah.
ice up.
Yeah.
And you hit it with the syrup. And nothing like a quick tree. You go to any theme park
They
in
have 'em.
Chicago, all over the country, snow cones, and people love them. You like snow cones?
I love snow cones.
Yeah, so
Especially
good.
when they have the ones with a little bit of a little something extra.
So Chicago.
Just saying.
So again, snow cone is one of the most like basic, easiest things that everyone had access to as a kid, growing up going to a carnival, festival, whatever. But what else is Chicago known for? Chicago's like the.
Are we juggling hot dogs in here?
No.
Okay.
No. But great.
okay.
But thank you. Chicago from the hot dog
Yeah.
to the Italian beef sandwich to our steakhouses to our Italian restaurants, our Chinese food, our Korean food. We are a culinary capital. Some of the best fusion restaurants are in Chicago.
Absolutely.
Right? You go anywhere and you dive into Chicago's 77 neighborhoods and our suburbs around the area. I represent union members across Cook County.
Yeah.
My affiliate unions that belong to the CFL, they represent people all across the region, throughout the state. I'm thinking we take a Chicago culinary experience, right? A Chicago culinary experience, and bring it together with the Chicago snow cone. and I'm going to tell you how we're going to do it. And this is my idea, and this is the thing that I think I leave my imprint on Eddie Fest.
Let's talk about
So
it.
Eddie Fest, we're going to have music. We're going to have Netta Sherrill on the run band. We're going to have beer. We're going to have our regular food vendors. We're going to have some of the best tacos on the south side, and on the east side, right? The 10th ward is, part of the 10th ward is the east side. You got Hegwish, you got all these other neighborhoods that make up the 10th ward. We are going to have the superstars of POW Wrestling, right? We're going to have a battle royal, Ken. We're going to have a battle royal. We're going to crown the first, in addition to the other title matches, because we're going to have other title matches. We'll be announcing them. We're going to crown the first #Union CFL champion as part of the battle royal, and we'll get more into that. That'll be out on social media.
Nice, very nice.
We have an incredible 6-man main event. We're gonna have a three-way. We're gonna have a 3-way or 4-way dance for a tag match, right?
Okay.
I haven't announced the other title. I'll announce the #Union Championship. It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be a great belt. For anyone who's asking, I am not going to be in that battle royal.
Darn it!
But there are
That's
going
my
to be
next
surprises.
question.
I am not going to be in the battle royal.
Okay.
I'm not going to be in the battle royal right now. I'm focused on the snow cones. We are going to have bolognese snow cones.
Oh.
We're going to have a chicken Alfredo snow cone. I'm thinking this is my idea. We're not doing it yet. This is just an idea. And we're going to have a chunky mushroom marinara snow cone.
Someone has offered paletas. Maybe some empanada.
I think that would. So
hang on, Ken.
Yeah.
The first thing I saw you do, and this is the
was cringe.
This is the road I've been on.
Yeah.
I say bolognese snow cone.
I cringed.
You cringe.
It's the open smile, like
The chicken. You didn't cringe so much for the chicken Alfredo snow cone.
Because at this point I'm just going with it.
Yeah.
I think we should also with it.
You did sort of reverberate back into the cringe when I said chunky mushroom marinara.
That was a lot for me.
Chunky in anything.
Yeah,
unless it's
chunky's a bad
chunky
word.
monkey ice cream and Ben and Jerry's,
right.
maybe. But
Yeah.
So I'm feeling
Okay.
that the snow cone thing doesn't work for you.
No.
Okay.
It
all
doesn't.
Right. Well, I guess I'm back to the drawing board.
You had me at beer though. I mean, I'm a simple man.
beer flavored snow cones.
I'm
What?
I'm back.
Who's in? I'm in beer flavored snow cones.
So
Fireball.
So
Oh, you were losing me again.
we're gonna have. I already brought out the guitar. Don Villar, the Secretary Treasurer of the CFL. I play guitar. Don, I don't think Don was buying me playing guitar after the band was done, so that's not happening. It doesn't sound like the funnel cakes are happening, right? The funnel cakes is just not a thing.
No.
Juggling. I'm not. Looks like maybe we're gonna pursue a real juggler because the loose Jello juggling. I mean,
Well, I think it's a sideshow
that
of
could
you
be
doing
fun.
It. Yes.
For someone.
Or maybe it's throwing Jello at somebody.
I would love to throw Jello at people.
Now, one thing I'll tell you, and I'm going to get back to this. I'm very, so Netta Sherrill,
Yes.
from the band, she apparently is involved, and I think this is right. She'll correct me if I'm wrong. I think she's involved with Grammys. She may be someone who gets a vote on the Grammys. So she is like an incredible musician, tours all over the place. Member of the Chicago Federation of Musicians with her other band members. And signatory. They're signatory with the Musicians Union. We're very excited about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I have made a commitment that I will not compete for the CFL #Union Championship. I will say that there is going to be the day of the show, the day of the wrestling part of the show. We're going to have, we have that women's match, right? We're going to have Melanie Cruz versus Brittany Kay. We are going to, that 6-man match, we are going to have a tag team that I'm very familiar with, Hardcore Impact. They're going to be wrestling against these guys that are coming in from Michigan, Brutal Mass Index and this guy Kavan. Be the first time those three guys are teaming up. But the Hardcore Impact, so right now we got 2 guys versus 3 guys. There's going to be a mystery partner. I don't know what's going to happen with that yet.
Oh boy.
POW official Justin James has not released that name. I don't know when it's going to happen. You know, we got a guy that I used to know from the wrestling business who's going to be on the show. His name's Havoc. He was
a great name.
Oh,
That is a great
He's a
name.
member. He's a union member too. He's an elevator constructor. We're going to have people. We're going to have a lot of people who, you know, and the way the wrestling business works is until you get to AEW or the WWE or you know, you start working overseas in Japan for some of their Japan wrestling in Japan's big. Wrestling's big in Mexico. A lot of folks also, you know, have a day job. You know, one of the biggest stars in wrestling right now is a guy that I know from, you know, 30 years ago. You know, I'm not saying we stepped in the ring together. You could think that. You might be right. But he's the WWE champion. He's from Chicago. His name's I know him by two names, Philip Jack Brooks, but people also know him as CM Punk. He is.
Oh, yes.
He lives here in Chicago.
Did not know that.
Yeah, he's originally from Lockport. You know, he's not going to be on the show.
Okay.
He's not going to be on the show. But until you get there, I mean, Phil worked a lot of jobs. He worked for comic book shops. He worked in I think somebody told me once he was and this is after I lost contact, he was working at a light bulb factory. We have a lot of people who are union members who are working in the building trades. We have people who have gigs working in other places in the entertainment industry. They're actors, they're performers. They're construction workers. Some of them are teachers. They have day jobs. On Labor Day weekend, you know, they're also going to be, you know, like they do on Saturdays and Sundays, you know, throughout the area. They're going to be lacing up their boots and working under their as professional wrestlers, as athletes for POW Wrestling. So this is incredible. We have union members.
This is awesome.
We have union members working everywhere, and Patti Vasquez just has to get me a union
Juggler.
Union juggler
and magician.
And close-up magic.
Close-up magic.
Close-up magic.
Close-up
Juggler.
magic. Folks,
Union.
if you
Hashtag.
know any of those,
Let us know.
I do
Yeah,
have
we're not
friends.
cutting people in half. We're doing close-up magic.
Yep. This is all happening on Labor Day weekend, Saturday, September 5th. The Chicago Labor Day Parade steps off at 11 a.m. on Ewing Avenue, as Bob mentioned, 112th to 106th. And then it's going to have Eddie Fest back in the 10th Ward in the neighborhood that built this movement. We're going to talk more about Eddie Fest with Bob Reiter, the president of the Chicago Federation of Labor, our Humpty Honey. Ken Mejia-Beal joins us, the Midwest chair of the Victory Fund. Go to victoryfund.org. What website's the best place for folks to learn about all the events at Eddie Fest?
So you could go to chicagolabor.org.
Yep.
You can go to chicagolaborparade.com.
Okay.
I think that's .com. You know, you can also find me at bobrighterjr.com. It'll take you to my Instagram page. You know, if you could like and share, if you want to, I do all kinds of things on my Instagram. You'll hear about Eddie Fest. You'll probably see, my daughter does not think that I'm a fitness influencer. But I am a labor and a fat bodybuilder. I'm a fat bodybuilder.
I've seen you lifting weights.
Yeah, I do that.
Yes, I've seen it.
Yep. If you want to see a middle-aged man working out, you should go to my Instagram page.
We're all there.
That's why I signed up.
More after this with my guests on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKNW 1150 in Seattle. Hello to all our friends tuning in digitally. We'll be back after this. And thank you to our sponsors, Pride Coffee Roasters, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, of course, the Chicago Federation of Labor. We have our friends at Minocqua Brewing Company and Source Solar. More after this.
Stephanie Miller.
It's another true Stephanie Miller Show story, Chris LaVoy. Yeah, from Jane in St. Charles, Illinois. It's real. Stephanie Miller fans are everywhere. We're meeting in parking lots. It happened just yesterday. I got to my car after leaving the grocery store. There was a woman loading her groceries in the car. She had a radio on to WCPT 820 Progressive Radio. I couldn't resist. I said, I think we would qualify to say that we listen to the Stephanie Miller Show. We both laughed and said, yes, we would. I love it.
Stephanie Miller, weekday mornings 8 to 11 on WCPT 820.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months. and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at USO.org today.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling. The limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
WCPT 820, Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter.
If you're listening to this station right now, you've definitely heard my voice before. Hi, I'm Hawk.
And I'm Pete. And we're with Source Solar, your local source for solar. Source Solar is Chicagoland's premier solar installer, providing solutions for over 1,000 homeowners and business owners across Illinois and Iowa.
With over a decade of industry experience and deep roots here in Chicago, we have the expertise to help your transition to clean, renewable, resilient energy.
We can guarantee that we save you money day one without any out-of-pocket cost to you. This means you have an instant ROI, instant payback, and can save money to add to your bottom line day one.
At Source Solar, we source everything as local as possible, meaning we always carry the Made in USA sticker.
Find us online at www.source.solar. Stop in our office at 5710 North Northwest Highway or give us a call at 773-985-3992.
And don't forget to ask for Hawk
or
and Pete.
Here's great news for those Chicagoans heading up to southern Wisconsin. Should you ever forget to load up on progressive brews from the local favorites like Rogers Park Provisions or Park West Liquor in Lincoln Park, Minocqua Brewing Company beer is now conveniently available at Dream Liquor and Cigar in Kenosha and in the Lake Geneva area at Delavan Liquor and Smoke in Delavan. If the great town of Madison, Wisconsin is your jam, please remember to swing into the Minocqua Brewing Company tap room at 2927 East Washington Avenue to grab some Resistance beer, pizza, t-shirts, and progressive camaraderie.
You're listening to WCPT 820. Here's the latest Chicago weather update.
I'm meteorologist Ray Miller in the Weatherology Weather Center. We'll see mainly cloudy skies tonight with a slight chance of showers, mainly before midnight. A little bit of fog developing as well. A low temperature around 70 degrees. Thursday, chance of showers and thunderstorms. A good chance of storms by the afternoon with a high temperature of 75. Friday, scattered showers and storms in the morning. Otherwise cloudy, high of 77. Thunderstorms Saturday, 83. Sunday, chance of storms and a high in the low 80s. That's the latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 82.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter. Think Theory Radio.
Manipulating the masses is more utilizing propaganda, gaining a wide quadrant of the public, where crowd manipulation is more focused, like the divisionary tactics of these political parties. They utilize certain talking points and phrases to target specific groups that they want to maneuver and empower and get them to do their bidding.
Think Theory Radio with Damian Perdue. Saturdays at 6 p.m. on WCPT 820.
WCPT Replay.
I am thrilled to be joined by Tom Nichols, staff writer at The Atlantic.
Illiberalism is a global movement right now of people using the levers of democracy to vote for people who are going to take away their democracy. It's basically like saying, I'm an American and I have rights, and I'm going to vote for the guy that's going to take away my rights because that will punish other people too. The illiberal movement is not the very poorest against the very richest. What you find with Trump voters, just as you did with illiberal voters in Italy and Poland and Turkey and other places, is that these are actually middle-class voters. Most of them are reasonably comfortable. You know, if you look at the January 6th rioters, these were not unemployed factory workers. These were chiropractors and retired cops and real estate agents.
Keep listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
This is WCPT 820, where facts matter.
No detours, no distractions. Just bold ideas and real talk. This is Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our drive home here on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKW 1150 in Seattle. Hello to our friends tuning in digitally on Facebook, YouTube, and now Minocqua Brewing Company Substack. And of course, you can catch all of our shows on podcast at heartlandsignal.com. Joining me in studio is my hump day honey, Ken Mejia Beal. He's back. He's the chair of the Midwest chapter of the Victory Fund. And Bob Ryder, who is the president of the Chicago Federation of Labor here, the third largest labor union.
We're the third largest central labor council of the National AFL-CIO. What that means is we're like the local AFL-CIO. We're directly chartered by the National AFL-CIO. Our organization because this is WCPT, there's going to be people who know this because we have a lot of union people out there and people who read history books and things like that. Samuel Gompers was the person who actually started the process of chartering our organization. The father of the modern labor movement, I guess. Samuel Gompers was the first president of the American Federation of Labor, which then later evolved into the AFL-CIO. And I believe he was at our first meeting of the organization, which was in November of 1896. Ooh. And, that was a hell-raising labor movement back then. It happened in the wake of the Haymarket Affair and the Pullmans, the National Pullman Strike, which, grew out of Chicago. And, if you look at all the cats that were involved with the labor movement back then, one of our longtime presidents of the CFL, a guy by the name of John Fitzpatrick, who started a radio station in 1926 with his secretary, which would now be the secretary-treasurer, John Nockels. By the way, Fitzpatrick was president of the CFL from 1906. He was the CFL's first staff organizer. For a while, we got away from having a staff organizer. We have one now. We have an organizing director, Marcus Shepard, who's our organizing director at the CFL. From 1906 to about 1943, Fitzpatrick
is a long time.
Yeah, 43, 44. Fitzpatrick was president of the CFL. WCFL, a lot of people who are just a little bit older than me, certainly like some of the baby boomers, they remember WCFL as being not only the voice of labor, which is one of its taglines. There's a radio term for it, but also was known as it was the voice of labor in Super CFL. Super CFL was a top 40 radio station started in the 1960s. It was they did public, like a lot of radio stations, like you guys do, entertainment-driven public affairs every day. Everyone would have, the CFL still had its labor-oriented programming that would come on during the weekends and things like that. But we were one of the top rock and roll stations in the country and certainly in the Midwest. And people I think you guys are younger than me. Patti, you're definitely a lot younger than me.
That's very kind of you. Should I tell him? Should I tell him my double nickels are coming up?
I know Ken's younger than me.
Double nickels next week.
Larry,
17th, August 17th.
Larry Lujak. Larry Lujak worked for WCFL. I'm not sure if if Dick Biondi worked for CFL, but we were. There's some websites that are still dedicated to WCFL. There was this old bit from the 60s called Chicken Man. And I believe Animal Stories probably started on WCFL. I'm not 100% sure. People say.
Right.
People say.
People say. I've heard.
People say.
I've heard this. But no, we were we had a top 40 radio station. John Fitzpatrick started that. And John Fitzpatrick also was very much involved with the pushback against the riots against Black Chicagoans during the Red Summer of 1919. John Fitzpatrick said the forces who are pushing that it was the obligation of the labor movement to stand with Black Chicagoans because the forces pushing against black Chicagoans who are attacking them are the same forces that attack the working person, regardless of race. So it was our obligation. So Fitzpatrick was that. He, one of his staff people back then was a guy by the name of William Z. Foster, who was, a noted rabble rouser in the progressive movement of the 1920s. So Fitzpatrick is sort of like, I don't want to. He was a person, so I don't want to say he was my spirit animal, but he's sort of like, he's one of our guiding forces in terms of making sure that we're staying true to the mission. But it started out, the CFL's been wrapped up around radio for a very long time.
I
did not know that.
Yeah, so we just had the call letters, right?
Hey, there's gonna be extra credit later. So remember these.
We're gonna be quizzed on these things, everybody.
Yeah. I'll remember it.
Hey, the 15th caller in wins the famous Marvel Comics No Prize if you get this question right.
They get to juggle with Jello.
Oh yeah, Jello. Hey, you get to juggle loose Jello.
If you have surplus Jello at the event at Eddie Fest, then that immediately suggests another potential stipulation match.
Yeah.
There you go.
But you know why? We have 2 Labor Days in Chicago. We have May Day, May 1st, which is a very Chicago thing, International Workers' Day, and people make pilgrimages to Chicago and go to the Haymarket Monument. There's a big immigrant rights march that happens every Labor Day. We've been involved with it for years, but the immigrant rights community, stands up every May Day, and the labor movement is a movement of immigrant workers. We have to make sure that we always remember that. And the Labor Day, the September Labor Day, the first Monday, there was a huge campaign for that. Also, at the same time, to have a dedicated holiday for workers. The Carpenters Union was actually very much involved with the campaign for that. One of their earliest, I don't know if it was their first president, one of their earliest presidents was helped lead that. And when Grover Cleveland and Congress intervened in the Pullman strike, they made the September Labor Day a federal holiday. Now, the way we look at the federal at our September Labor Day is we raise hell every day of the week. The Labor Day weekend, we have to make sure that this is a celebration of the working person, and that the working person gets to crack open a beer, gets to spend time with their family, enjoy themselves when we celebrate the American worker. Now, we are also going to it's not like we're not going to do activism. We'll have a little bit of activism. I mean, we're going to have Patti Vasquez out there talking.
That's
to
right.
people.
Yep.
We're going to be talking about voter protection. We're going to be, we're going to build some programming in at the solidarity stage. We have the main stage where the performances are going to happen with the band and DJ Chase. We're going to have the solidarity stage, which is going to have some other fun things, like hopefully a juggler.
It's going to happen.
We're making phone calls.
It's going to happen.
We're going to have a juggler. I believe I've heard that we are going to have some a 20-minute rap set from an elected official who's also trying to put together an aldermanic performance.
We know who that is.
I know who that is.
This has not been officially announced yet at the solidarity stage.
We say nothing.
But
does her name rhyme with Vasquez? Is all I'm asking.
I'm going to be texting him as soon as I leave.
I am also working on something for the Starbucks workers. Starbucks. Yeah. Starbucks Workers United, which is also affiliated with Workers United and SEIU, has been on strike since November of last year as part of the Red Cup Rebellion. You'll see that I am drinking. I have a mocha protein shake from. It says Stan's Donuts. It's from the Stan's Donut workers that are union members at Mariano's. So
okay.
Members of UFCW 881 who and we have union coffee workers at our unionized grocery stores. We have Collectivo Coffee and Intelligentsia, both represented by IBEW Local 1220. We have coffee workers that are part of Unite Here Local 1. But we're going to do something special with the Starbucks Workers Union at Eddie Fest at the Solidarity stage. So I'm telling you, we're the CFL is bringing so much action to everybody.
Yes,
we're gonna have this incredible parade. We're gonna have a lot of unions that are involved in the parade. Everyone from SEIU. We're We're going to have IBEW Local 134. These guys participate in the parade. They have, I've never seen so many motorcycles in my life.
I was going to say, I remember one of the things I remember most vividly were the motorcycles, like massive amounts of motorcycles.
So here's a misconception, I think, because everybody tries to put people in buckets. You can ride a motorcycle. You can be a NASCAR fan. Mm-hmm. You can be someone who's into close-up magic. Be a progressive and be a union member and be all those things.
Yeah,
or
you can.
Or you can be a moderate, or you can be whatever, but you can know first and foremost that unless the American worker gets to participate in the economy, the economy cannot succeed.
Correct.
There is common ground. Like we're here on Progressive Talk Radio right now, right? Progressive, the WCPT. I've been on a number of shows with hosts who want to talk about issues that are, that believe in workers' rights, workers' issues. But those issues can run across the political gamut. And when people start thinking about pocketbook issues, things start coming together for regular people.
That is correct.
So when we are at Eddie Fest, all the entertainment that I'm talking about, all the fun and crazy things that I've been pitching, what it's really about is building a labor palooza where working people can come to the 10th Ward, be alongside Lake Michigan and Steelworkers Park on the old site of U.S. Steel, right? Where people literally put their blood, sweat, and tears to earn an honest day living. We're in a neighborhood where the Chicos and the Sedlowskis helped lead the labor movement, a working class neighborhood. Ken, Mija, Beal, and I are going to have a beer.
We are going to have more than one beer and juggle Jello.
We're gonna have maybe a lemonade shake-up. We're gonna have maybe some roasted corn.
Definitely,
we're gonna have
corn.
We're gonna have some tacos.
Absolutely.
Yep.
No, for some reason I feel like I gotta wait to drink until the wreshling show's over. I don't know why.
You shouldn't.
It's good, especially when it's hot. You want to stay hydrated and then celebrate after.
You can stay hydrated with the lemon snow cones.
Because I have to.
Right.
I got this.
Because one thing will be sure. Thing will be sure, brother. I will be getting in that wrestling ring, stepping through those ropes to welcome everyone to Eddie Fest.
Yes.
To welcome everyone to Eddie Fest. Anything else? We'll have to see.
It'll all be bonus
I'll be
round.
there.
Saturday, September 5th, the Chicago Labor Day Parade steps off at 11 a.m. on Ewing Avenue, 112th to 106th, and back in the 10th Ward this year for Eddie Fest, noon to 5 at Steelworkers Park. Live music, DJ Chase spinning all afternoon. The stars of the POW.
Pow Entertainment, Pow Wrestling.
To say Pow. I feel like I have to say it like that because there's two W's. Food, craft vendors, bounce houses, juggling, face painting. We've got a psychic, hopefully up close magic. We're gonna bring the family, bring your neighbors, bring a chair because the best seat in the house is the one you bring yourself. Let's take a quick break here with Bob Ryder, the president of the Chicago Federation of Labor, Ken Mejia Beal, Midwest chair for the Victory Fund. Go to victoryfund.org and we'll have all the information you need also posted on my Facebook page, The Patti Vasquez Show. After this, we'll continue the conversation.
Hey, Clerk Elise, you got a guy who can fix my lamp. I do. At the Township of Lyons Repair Cafe, neighbors help neighbors repair all sorts of things from lamps to vacuums. Little acts of mutual support that make a big difference. Hey, Clerk Elise, you got a guy who can notarize documents? The Township of Lyons has lots of notaries on staff ready to help. Hey, Clerk Elise, you got a guy? At the Township of Lyons, we are your guys. Whatever you need, we work to bring more resources right to you. Check out the Township of Lyons online, Lyons with a Y, LyonsTownshipIL.gov.
Latinos have been here always, before, during, and after the founding of the United States. We are small business owners rising before dawn to power the economy, hands that pick, manage, and prepare the food that nourishes America. Builders of our homes, our cities, our roads, our communities. Workers who labor daily to strengthen the very fabric of our nation. We are caregivers, teachers, doctors, engineers, neighbors, families raising the next generation. Latinos contribute over $4 trillion to America's GDP, bringing promise, innovation, and vitality to every corner of the U.S. We are the backbone, an indelible part of the American story. We are America. America is us. Learn more by going to americaisus.org and discover how Latinos have shaped America's journey and continue to forge its future.
Let's be honest. The National Symphony may not be in his future, but he wanted to try violin. So you said yes because you love him. And if you love him that much, love him enough to make sure he's buckled up and in the back seat. Find out more about keeping your kids safe in your vehicle at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat. Show him you love him. Keep him safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is WCPT 820, where facts matter.
With Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us as we continue our drive home here on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKNW 1115 Seattle, KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul. I know it's coming up at 6, but I'll say hi to them anyway because sometimes they listen to the whole show. We were mentioned on the politics bar last night. Thank you to Jody Hamilton, who apparently listens to WCPT because I came on during the big storms yesterday at 11:30 in the morning to make sure people were paying attention to the extreme weather we were having. Joining me for my Wednesday Hump Day Honey is Ken Mejia Beal, the chair of the Midwest chair for the Victory Fund. Go to victoryfund.org. And the president of the Chicago Federation of Labor, Bob Reiter, who I've known since the first time I went to Eddie Fest. We met in the summer of 2019. I think it's the first time we met.
When did you run for?
2020. So I launched my campaign in the summer of 2019.
So that's why she was seeking me out.
No. Yes, but
also,
no.
But also, I've been a union member since 2001.
I tease.
Yes.
I tease. You know, one of the great things about this job is I get to meet all kinds of people at different places in their life, and I've actually, met. Patty's one person, but I've seen Patti in her different versions.
Yeah.
Running for office. I've seen her in a role at SAG-AFTRA, and I've seen her. I've seen her here as on the radio, and Patty's always Patti. Maybe I know you're going to be doing your thing at Eddie Fest. I mean, maybe we should have booked you.
Oh, for stand-up? Stand-up is hard at a big picnic event like that.
It is.
But here's the thing, to your point about all the different things that I do. I was mentioning this, I think, off the air. Before I was 21 years old, I had 40 different jobs. I tried everything. I always felt this urge to work. Well, mostly because my parents, I could hear them talking about money, and my dad was a cab driver.
Yeah.
My mom was actually union with the federal government, which right now, watching what's happening with federal government labor members is incredible.
Very sad.
But I was, since they were, pinching pennies, and I didn't want to be, I don't know, I felt this sense of working. So I worked at nail salons. I worked at restaurants. I delivered newspapers. I was a lifeguard. I was a Chicago Park District lifeguard at North Avenue Beach. So I've always done different things, and it's kind of one of those things that keeps me going.
You know what my first two jobs were? Actually, I'll give you my first three. My first one was cutting grass for my Aunt Nancy.
There you go.
And I did a fill-in route for my buddy delivering newspapers. But the first job, which is I wasn't working for a family member or just doing a side gig for somebody. There was a fundraiser going on at my high school, and my study hall teacher, who was involved, he was the band director at the school, and I was sort of like this nerdy, football player who, who also listened to punk rock, and not everybody's built in one stereotype. And he knew that I was a big fan of professional wrestling, and he hooked me up with a guy by the name of Rockin' Randy Ricci. Rockin' Randy, who I had seen actually perform for Windy City Wrestling at our high school for a fundraiser, and my job was to go. And they were making sales calls for people to buy ads in the program for the show, and my job was to go and collect, the ad copy and the money for the ad book. And then I met a guy early in his career as a wrestler. His name was Eric Freedom, who became a wrestling promoter and trainer up in Michigan eventually. And the guy that he broke in, they're both from Downers Grove. And the guy he broke into the business with was this guy named, his ring name at the time was the Beach Brat.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
And he now wrestles. He still wrestles this day. His name is Hardcore Craig.
Wow.
And he is going to be, he's one of the people in the main event as part of Hardcore Impact with this guy named Paulie Tomaselli. And, both guys who have regular jobs but love the business. And Paulie was actually trained by a good friend of mine named Mike Bainey, who wrestled under Eric Priest, who died last year.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Had some CTE issues as well.
We're talking to Bob Ryder and all the things you're going to learn more about his experience and knowledge of wrestling when we come back in just a little bit, and what they're all bringing to the Labor Day weekend, because Chicago does what Chicago does best when it comes to labor. Saturday, September 5th, the Chicago Labor Day Parade steps off at 11 a.m. on Ewing Avenue, 112th to 106th, back in the 10th Ward, back in the neighborhood that built this movement. Eddie Fest goes from noon to 5 at Steelworkers Park, and we'll talk more about that when we come back with my Hump Day honey, Ken Mejia Beal, the the Midwest chair of the Victory Fund. Go to victoryfund.org, and we'll talk more about the labor events coming up in just a little bit with Bob Ryder, the president of the Chicago Federation of Labor. Let's do the news.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by: never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
It's the most wonderful time of the year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, and more at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. President Volodymyr Zelensky says Ukrainian missiles and drones blitzed a naval base on Russia's Black Sea coast overnight. Officials in the Krasnodar region say 3 people, including an 8-year-old, were killed. Meanwhile, Ukraine's Air Force says Russia fired 138 long-range drones as well as missiles overnight, killing 2 people in the Kherson region and destroying a shopping mall in Zaporizhia. While Russia's defense ministry says it hit fuel reservoirs and infrastructure for military cargo in Odessa. And Lisa Dwyer reports.
Russian President Vladimir Putin has threatened retaliation against Western seizures of Russian commercial vessels, calling the seizures piracy. Speaking from a Russian warship in the Pacific, Putin criticized the detentions as breaches of international maritime law, warning that Russia could respond in any area it deems necessary, not just where Russian ships are seized, and is now deploying warships to escort some of its commercial vessels. Russia is believed to be using a shadow fleet to evade sanctions. France and the UK have detained tankers suspected of violating those sanctions. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good to see you here today. Good morning, Gabe. We'll begin today with a few scheduling announcements.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt will be leaving the Trump administration at the end of the month. The 28-year-old calls it a bittersweet decision, but after recently giving birth to her second child, she says she can't devote enough time or attention to both roles. Inflation slowed a little last month, but consumer prices were up 3.4% from July a year ago. Gas prices have jumped about 2.5 cents in the past day. AAA puts the national average above $4.03 per gallon. On Wall Street, the Dow edged lower, losing 21 points, but the S&P gained 0.3% and the Nasdaq 0.5. This is AP News. A solar eclipse crossed Iceland, Britain, and parts of Europe today.
People seeking the best view crowded lawns and beaches and cheered as the sky darkened. The celestial spectacle was visible across a wide band from Canada to northern Europe. On the coast of Portugal, bathers swapped sunglasses for special viewing glasses as the moon blotted out the visible sun and the orb shrank to a slender crescent. In France, the eclipse was not total, but it was the closest thing since 1999.
The sky darkens. It seems like it's getting kind of cold.
Simon Luchesini was at André Citron Park in Paris.
It's not the same dark as just twilight. So yeah, it's weird. Basically, it's weird and kind of beautiful too.
The next total eclipse visible in the lower 48 of the United States won't be until 2044. I'm Jennifer King.
More news at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thanks for listening.
This is 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and streaming worldwide at WCPT820.com. We are Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter. Now, your WCPT 820 weather update.
I'm meteorologist Ray Miller in the Weatherology Weather Center. We'll see mainly cloudy skies tonight with a slight chance of showers, mainly before midnight. A little bit of fog developing as well. A low temperature around 70 degrees. Thursday, chance of showers and thunderstorms. A good chance of storms by the afternoon with a high temperature of 75. Friday, scattered showers and storms in the morning. Otherwise cloudy, high of 77. Thunderstorms Saturday, 83. Sunday, chance of storms and a high in the low 80s. That's the latest Chicago weather update.
Right now, it's 82.
Let's face it, most of the email you get stinks. You have to fill out some form, or a package is delayed, or a candidate you never heard of is asking for $5. But Heartland Signal has a newsletter, Radio Free America, that will actually make you want to open your inbox. Written by our senior political analyst, that's me by the way, we focus on the stories springing up from the states before it gets on the Beltway media's radar. That means you know tomorrow's news stories today. We try to keep it interesting. We all know the president's a bad guy, so we don't dwell on him too much. Rather, we focus on ways to address the root cause of Trumpism, like how John Ossoff figured out how to address corruption, or what state-level Democrats can do to stop gerrymandering, and why you don't have to worry about Spencer Pratt being the next Trump. And we try to keep it light, too, because let's face it, you deserve a laugh. We never share or sell your email address, and you can unsubscribe at any time. Sign up now at heartlandsignal.com/newsletter.
You're listening to WCPT 820, because facts matter.
Driving it home with Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez. From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says, and politicians getting caught grabbing asses says, she's driving it home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our conversation here, driving it home. Thank you to our friends tuning in on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal right here in Chicago, KKNW 1150 in Seattle, KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul, and our friends tuning in digitally on Facebook, YouTube, and now Minocqua Brewing Company Substack. And of course, you can catch all of our shows as podcasts at heartlandsignal.com. Thank you to our sponsors, Pride Coffee Roasters. Go to pridecoffeeroasters.com and put in an order for a bean subscription and get some of the most delicious single origin roasted to order coffee beans you have ever had delivered right to your home. And find out what farmers market they will be at next, including the Jefferson Park Sunday Market, where I volunteer every second and fourth Sunday of the month, right at Jefferson Park at Lawrence and Long. And also thank you to our friends at Source Solar. Go to source.solar, make an appointment with Peter Sorrellis. Maybe it's time to get solar panels on your house or business. And he's partnered with Illinois Solar for All to help you with financing. That's source.solar. Thank you to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention for your support and for joining us for the Pride Parade, as well as our friends at the Chicago Federation of Labor. Will be joining them for the Labor Day Parade on September 5th and Eddie Fest. And maybe I'll see if I can bring along some of our other sponsors' products from Minocqua Brewing Company. Thank you to Minocqua Brewing Company. And make sure you're subscribed to the Substack and staying up to date on all the great work that they do there. Joining me in studio is the Midwest Chair for the Victory Fund. Go to victoryfund.org. It's my hump day, honey. Ken I did okay up until I got to your name. Ken Mejia Beal joins us in studio, along with the president of the Chicago Federation of Labor. We've been talking about the Eddie Fest and all the events coming up for Labor Day.
I just want to say, if the fest is 10% of the energy that I get from you, Bob, I'm ready for the party.
Exactly. Yeah.
Every day should be September 5th.
And go ahead.
So for those following along at home, I'm looking down at my phone and I can actually see myself Patti Vasquez's Facebook, and I want you to know that part of it is I'm looking to see if there's comments in there that are asking or no say, hey, I do close-up magic.
Oh, there you go. Folks,
but I don't know if I could see all the comments. I don't see anything yet, but
well, we have a lot of future listeners.
Well, there's also there's a lot of future listeners.
Yeah. Well, I'll be in the comments, as they say, looking for things and
join the conversation.
Reach out to the CFL if you do close up magic, or if we're not doing juggling chainsaws.
No.
Yeah.
or a cabbage in a lawnmower. I told him I have a friend named Mark Fahey who does. He balances a lawnmower on his chin and he was actually on Letterman. He's been on several late nights.
Outrageous.
He chops up a cabbage. He also he does flaming stuff as well.
Can I just say really quickly? I've always wondered how people figure out they can do stuff like that. Like, I can. Like, how do you know that?
Yeah. Well,
like what happened?
Sometimes, Ken, you don't know until you try.
I don't try stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
By the way, speaking of power tools, you were asking about you were asking about my baseball hat. There is a library in Chicago where you can borrow power tools, like
That's
the
awesome.
whole power tool, or just any hand tools, like power sprayers or lawnmowers, or if you need a screwdriver, you need all that. I love it, and so I went and I'm trying to. There's Buy Nothing. Have you ever heard of Buy Nothing on Facebook?
No.
People give away stuff to their neighbors, and you go pick it up. So there's a cabinet in the bathroom right here that I stripped the paint, and I like doing stuff with my hands.
There's people right now, Patty, just so you know, that I represent, that I work for, that are looking at your hand going, yeah, that's where Ryder comes from. He definitely comes from the tool library. Listen to this lunatic talk. What is wrong with him?
Borrow it for free and return it late.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel...
This show, the way my behavior on this show may have completely undermined my credibility in the civic community of Chicago.
If it makes you feel better, Bob, my behavior on this show every week undermines my credibility.
Can I tell you a story?
Oh my gosh, yes, of course. I mean, that's what we're doing, right?
So when I was on WGN Radio, I used to have Friday night. We used to do a thing called the Budget Crisis Corner, and I would have one Republican and one Democrat. And let's say, I think one time I had General Harris, the Republican rep, and Will Guzzardi on together, right? So it's kind of this fun, and to talk about where you coming from with the budget. Like I had Martwick and Batnick, because I thought it was funny to say. I know, but at any rate, we also had a segment called.
By the way, she's booking Republicans and Democrats with names that rhyme because it's funny. It's just great.
Radio, kind of a little bit.
That is, as they say, radio gold.
Yeah. Just saying. But I also had a segment called "What's in the Box," and the bit was. Did you ever hear about this?
Yes, I did hear about what's in the box.
And we would have bartenders. Like we had we had restaurants that would cater. We had all kinds of stuff. And what's in the box? Not from 7, but it was. We would read reviews from Amazon, and listeners had to guess if it was an appliance or an adult toy. And so I would have these legislators. I have video of all of them, like reading. So it gets hot too fast, does the job. Bought one for my mom.
I hope that was an appliance.
So you have not. No.
Yeah, I'm just going to let you tell that story. I'm just going to sit here and.
I'm just saying, you have not. The things that some of these legislators. I mean, it was wild. They would get drunk. They would read these reviews. They would have listeners call in with. It was amazing.
I mean, in my defense. No. I never had very much credibility, so this is right up my alley.
Yeah, so don't you worry.
Well, I'm
the
good
things
to go.
I've gotten people to do and say on my shows, you're good.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Well, I'm going to be on here for at least part of this next segment, so we'll see if we can, maybe we could still undermine my credibility.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm shooting for it. Let's do it.
Well, we're talking about gathering on September 5th for Eddie Fest. And the thing about unions, and what has always been the case, is community. Is
very big.
Is making sure that people know that they have support all around them. And that's what the point is.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And that's why, that's why it's so important that, we show up for our members in different ways. And, Eddie Fest, we're showing up with music, DJ, some education about, voting rights and, things going on in the labor movement, like with workers like the Starbucks union and beer and professional wrestling.
I mean, it sounds good to me.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a great time. And for folks who want, let them know, because you get down there, it's a whole day event.
Yeah.
Right?
So people who come down for the parade, and if they're riding on a floater, they need access. You can park at Steelworkers Park for the festival. We're going to have transportation going from the end of the parade up to Steelworkers Park, or you could just go to Steelworkers Park for the festival. We definitely want people to feel like they can participate in both sitting for the parade along Ewing Avenue from 106 to 112th and come to the festival. We're going to be at the festival from about 12 to 5.
Okay.
And we'll see how the party's going. I got the park all night.
I'm hearing you do an after party. I get the feeling.
Pre-COVID, we had this festival. We went later. It was down in Cal Park, the latest we ran it. That when we were involved, Alderwoman Garza also, ran Eddie Fest, prior to us, taking over. I guess taking over. It's still, we're not the only people involved with it. Gus is the organizer of it, and I come up with all the crazy ideas of things we can add to it. It used to there was a firework display. I'm not saying we're not doing fireworks this year. I'm not saying that that's not where we land next year. So
gotcha.
If people come this year and we have a blast, like I know we will, like the Eddie Fest that we had last year in Pullman was awesome. We want to make sure that we have both an awesome parade and an awesome festival. And we're up in the game this year. We're trying to build it back into, Chicago's Labor Palooza. Ken,
Labor Palooza.
That's the name.
Labor
Palooza.
Yes.
Eddie Fest is a Labor Palooza. It's still Eddie Fest. We can't take it. Ed Sadlowski.
Of course.
No,
that's what it is.
But it is a Labor Palooza. I'm not saying that there's going to be fireworks next year, but come and have a good time and make the case that, and I'll keep adding more.
I love it.
I'll keep adding more.
Well, and here's the thing: when you're hanging out with other labor members, with your brothers and sisters, I mean, like, it is a great day to just hang out and be together. And plus it's Saturday. You'll have Labor Day Monday, so you've got 2 days to recover from all the shenanigans.
Yeah,
and there will be lots of shenanigans.
Yeah. I'm actually going to. I'm going to be traveling actually on Labor Day. We're doing a lot of work around workers' rights across the globe. The Chicago helps drive some of that conversation. We've got our Chicago Pope.
Yes.
He has the working class values, and we've done
Isn't
a lot.
That amazing?
We've done a lot of work with the Vatican around the rights of migrants. Making sure that people have access to food and good jobs and things like that. And I'm going to be, engaging in one of those types of meetings coming out of Labor Day. And, the thing is, the work keeps rolling, but we also can have some fun.
Exactly.
Let's have some fun.
Yeah.
I love it. That's Bob Reiter, president of the Chicago Federation of Labor, and I loved having you in. We're up on your time because I don't know what traffic is like because you got to get downtown.
I do have to go downtown. I have a 17-year-old girl who's doing an interview for a scholarship, and she came downtown with me today, and she went to tell me about something exciting that she just found out about school, and I'm like, kiddo, I need to finish this other thing. And then later she told me what it was. I'm like, okay, I am in daddy doghouse right now. You have to always stop and listen to your kids. We're all plowing through a lot of hard issues every day, but we need to make sure that we give these kids the attention they deserve because they are the future and they're going to fight. They're going to fight for a more just world. So I gotta go make sure that she is her whole person is supported.
Take her to Rainbow Cone.
I love that.
Take her to Rainbow Cone.
She loves Rainbow Cone.
Take her there. I love Rainbow Cone.
Ken, you are fully Chicago right now.
Yes. I love Rainbow Cone.
Well, my best to her. Where does she want to go to school?
Well, she's looking at a lot of number of schools. The one that's leading right now, and this is sort of a tell on how she grew up. It's an out-of-state school. It's she wants to major in Spanish and a political science degree, which could be a lot of different things.
Yeah.
From the place that sort of breeds activism in terms of big school universities, University of Wisconsin-Madison.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, great school.
Okay.
Great school.
And not too far away. How great is that?
So if Scott Walker ever comes back, my daughter will be able to walk.
Well, yeah, we'll see what happens at this. Like, we didn't even talk about any of that stuff. Well, let me know when you can come back because we'll make sure people get.
And I don't care what day it is. I want to be here.
Wednesdays. You got to come back on Wednesday.
I'll be here whenever he's here.
I'll try to have more energy for the next time I come in.
Oh boy, look out! That's Bob Reiter, and also the website, right? ChicagoLaborParade.com.
Yeah, Chicago Labor Parade. You would think it'd be Labor Day Parade, but it's ChicagoLaborParade.com or at Chicago Labor Parade on Instagram or Facebook. And you can always follow us at Chicago Labor on all platforms, every platform you can think of. Our handle is at Chicago Labor, and you can follow me in a similar way at Bob Reiter JR. I'm a junior.
And I just shared your funny video on Instagram.
He'll be juggling Jello, folks.
Was it the Jello one?
No, it's you were with the soccer ball and the football and
yeah. I also did a compilation video. I'm going out of control with videos right now.
I love it.
You gotta have fun. Bob Ryder, Chicago Federation of Labor President. Thank you so much. Bob Ryder Jr., thank you for joining us in studio.
Thank you, Patty. Thank you, Ken.
We'll see
Anytime.
you next week. More after this. I'm a Hump Day Honey, Ken Mejia Beal, the Midwest Chair for the Victory Fund. VictoryFund.org. More after this on KKNW, KTNF, and WCPT.
We ask parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
Nathan has taught me to embrace the moment. Age-wise, I'm in my late 60s. I'm old enough to be his grandfather. Will he be embarrassed to acknowledge me as his dad? I think the most important thing we can do is let them know that they're safe, that they're valued and cared for and loved, and that they're important.
I knew I wanted to be adopted by him because of how he taught me to be the person who I am today. And it's coming from a dad that didn't expect to become a dad. And I feel very proud to be his son.
I was what he needed, and he was what I needed. Every day is full of new opportunities. That's what it's been about, realizing the simple things that it takes to make such a huge difference in these kids' lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by Adopt U.S. Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
This is WCPT telling you how you can shop blue. As the Republican Party continues to have its war on women, let's look at some feminine care products that support the Democratic Party. Always in Tampax. And they are both owned by Procter & Gamble. Now, Procter & Gamble as a company does not give to politics. However, some of their senior leaders do, and they tend to lean more Democrat, as in 2024, 61% of their donations went to Democrats. Thinks and Kotex. Now, Thinks and Kotex are owned by Kimberly-Clark. The company does not give to politics, but some of their senior leaders do, and 65% of the donations in 2024 went to Democrats. Playtex, Carefree, and Stay Free. All are owned by Edgewell Personal Care. Edgewell Personal Care as a company does not give to politics. A few senior leaders do, and those donations in 2024 went to Kamala Harris's campaign. Safe to say, Edgewell Personal Care supports the Democrat Party. Now, can we get all these companies to come together and agree to eliminate the pink tax? This has been WCPT telling you that you can shop blue.
Alexa, play WCPT.
WCPT from TuneIn.
If you're listening to this station right now, you've definitely heard my voice before. Hi, I'm Hawk.
And I'm Pete. And we're with Source Solar, your local source for solar. Source Solar is Chicagoland's premier solar installer, providing solutions for over 1,000 homeowners and business owners across Illinois and Iowa.
With over a decade of industry experience and deep roots here in Chicago, we have the expertise to help your transition to clean, renewable, resilient energy.
We can guarantee that we save you money day one without any out-of-pocket cost to you. This means you have an instant ROI, instant payback, and can save money to add to your bottom line day one.
At Source Solar, we source everything as local as possible, meaning we always carry the Made in USA sticker.
Find us online at www.source.solar. Stop in our office at 5710 North Northwest Highway or give us a call at 773-985-3992.
And don't forget to ask for Hawk
or Pete.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us as we continue our drive home here on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal. We had Bob Ryder Jr., the president of the Chicago Federation of Labor, join us for the first 2/3 of the show, I guess, or it's not really half, a little more than half. I don't do math very well.
I was going to say, I'm a drinker. I'm not a mathematician. I don't know nothing about these numbers.
We were talking about
fractions,
Eddie Fest, and I really did love going to Eddie Fest for the first time in 2019. And I was running for office. It's like, you want to get, and the thing was that I've been in a union for over 20 years, and it's sort of like the SAG-AFTRA has been such a big part of my life for so long, fighting for
you,
our protections, for our wages. So it was nice to gather with labor members at the parade at the Labor Day parade. Again, it's going to be September 5th. You can go to laborparade.com, ChicagoLaborParade.com to learn more. The phone lines are open, 773-763-9278. Ken, we have a guest coming up that you mentioned is someone who's endorsed by Victory Fund.
The Democratic nominee for Michigan House of Representatives, Joanna, will be, because we're speaking into existence, the first trans woman elected in the state legislature.
See how it works?
Yeah, it doesn't work. But no, it's so important. We have to have all levels of folks represented. And when you go to the legislature, I think there should be different ethnicities, different ages, different socioeconomic backgrounds, different everything.
Yeah.
Because we all have blind spots.
Right.
We all have blind spots.
Well, but here's the thing: is that there are people who just don't want certain groups of humans to exist at all.
Well,
and that's
right.
That's the thing. Is it like I'll never understand.
Well, that's because a friend of mine explained this to me once, and it was so brilliant. We will never understand because our brains are too big.
I don't know.
And it's kind of like if you see the way a dog gets excited about a milk bone, you will never understand that level of excitement because our brains are too big to understand why this dog is so excited about a milk bone.
Right.
Our brains are too big to understand why someone will fully hate viscerally someone because they're different from, like, our brains are just not small enough. We won't get it. I actually didn't mean that as an insult. But it's true.
I like that. We are going to talk to Joanna Whaley in just a little bit. But first, I do want to make sure we take phone calls because we are also here for you. Like Jim in Chicago. What's on your mind, my friend?
Oh, hi, Patty and Ken. We landed mining equipment in Greenland in the middle of the night, unbeknownst to anybody in Greenland. And this cockamamie story was instigated by Israeli intelligence. They're the ones that started this rumor about Trump being bombed out of the sky. And the reality is, Iran has Trump over a barrel, Patty. And when you've got an old-timer like him over a barrel, you're not going to kill him then. And there's no point in it. They've got him over a barrel. That's the last thing they want to do is kill Trump. Well, they've got him completely hamstrung. But the other thing that I'm really enthused about is the turnout in Wisconsin. It seemed to be pretty big for a primary. Democrats seem to come out from the woodwork all over the state, Patty. I know you've been up there several times, but this is like from the hinterland down, or enthusiastic Democratic voters. So that has to bode well in going forward. And that's about it. And Kenny, you said you had a life? Well, I envy you. Anyway, you guys have a good night.
You too, Jim.
Have a good one, Jim. Appreciate it. We haven't even had a chance to talk about the results in Wisconsin. I haven't really mentioned. We'll talk to our friends. I'll be up there on Sunday for speaking in Elkhorn.
I think the turnout was great. The turnout numbers were great, and I think that's a good indicator.
Yeah, I haven't seen the numbers as far as like any comparison.
They were
to...
up compared to the last 2, 4, 6 primary trends. They were increased.
Interesting,
which is good.
Yeah, and it was so freaking close.
But and I will say this for the folks that kind of bashed. I think her name's Francesca.
Yes,
I believe a large portion of that was Francesca. Because she was able to bring out a lot of young voters that had never voted in a primary. So hate her or love her, this is why the progressive movement is needed, because it brings out folks that usually don't want to vote in a primary.
Well, apparently we were talking earlier a little bit about the polling. The Marquette poll found 47% of all voters had a favorable view for Crowley.
Yes.
And it just there was so much chaos at the end of this, like in the last 4 weeks.
Yeah.
It was messy.
I can tell you what happened because this has happened to me. Mm-hmm. I've been polled, and I'm polled, and then there's a barrage of negative media about the person I'm going to vote for, and I get in the booth and I think, oh my God, they might not be able to beat the Republican, and then I switch my vote. And that is why polling is sometimes off, because things happen in the interim. And there have been 2 times where I have been polled and I said, this is who I'm voting for. And I get in the booth and I go, oh, and I switch it.
Interesting.
And I switch it.
And I think I've had those moments. I know that there were folks who were concerned about her comments regarding Thanksgiving. I told a friend of mine that we should call Jim Rule. He's a Native American comedian. Because he has a great joke about how Native Americans call it your welcome day instead of Thanksgiving.
It should be. I get that.
Just to like turn it around, like, you know, well, you know, we shouldn't cancel it, but we should have counter programming.
I rename it but I also think in the big scheme of things, whether we celebrate it, not change the name, you will still get the day off. You will still get a check. You will still eat turkey. Like, let's not get our up in arms.
How much are you actually giving thanks?
Yeah, like, I've been to your homes. I've seen you watch the Detroit Lions lose. I've seen it's not that deep.
Right. To give you just before we go to the break and jump in with our guest who is going to join us, Joanna Whaley, we have one of the numbers I don't have for the last primary, but for 2018 comparison, there were 538,000 votes cast in the Democratic primary. This time there were 800,000. That's
a lot.
Massive.
Yeah.
So very interesting.
It's a lot.
I'm just saying, interesting numbers.
Got to get the young voters out.
Oh, absolutely. And also they're saying that the black vote in Wisconsin was huge. Black voters are mobilizing, and a lot of that is in reaction to the gerrymandering and trying to delegitimize the votes of our black population. So interesting. Let's take a break here. When we come back, we're going to have a guest on the line with us, Joanna Whaley, Democratic nominee for the Michigan House of Representatives, District 2, which is southeastern Michigan. I know we've got listeners there.
Yes,
so let's check in with
do.
Joanna when we come back. Joining me in studio, my hump day honey, Ken Mejia Beal. He is the Midwest chair for the Victory Fund. Go to victoryfund.org and we'll find out more about some events he's got coming. I know he's got to have something
tomorrow night at
Skeleton Key. Oh, what's going on tomorrow night?
90s music trivia.
What?
90s music trivia, Skeleton Key.
So fun. It looks like your last event was a blast too.
It was so much fun, but it begins at 7. Get there by 6:30. Wonderful drinks. Skeleton Key Brewery in Woodridge, Illinois.
Amazing. And don't forget, follow Bob Ryder Jr. We were talking about the Labor Day events, Eddie Fest, the Labor Day Parade on September 5th. Follow him for all the details about the wrestling as well. For Pow! More after this. On WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKNW 1150, KTNF AM 950, and our friends tuning in digitally on Facebook, YouTube, and now Minocqua Brewing Company Substack. We're glad you're all here, and maybe you're listening in the future on our podcast available at heartlandsignal.com.
You're listening to WCPT 820. Here's the latest Chicago weather update.
I'm meteorologist Ray Miller in the Weatherology Weather Center. We'll see mainly cloudy skies tonight with a slight chance of showers, mainly before midnight. A little bit of fog developing as well. A low temperature around 70 degrees. Thursday, chance of showers and thunderstorms. A good chance of storms by the afternoon with a high temperature of 75. Friday, scattered showers and storms in the morning. Otherwise cloudy, high of 77. Thunderstorms Saturday, 83. Sunday, chance of storms and a high in the low 80s. That's the latest Chicago weather update.
Right now, it's 82.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
And we're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for and there they go. Almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fan favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
How do you know you're home? At Habitat for Humanity, we believe it's when you find peace, stability, and safety. But 1 in 3 people on Earth woke up today without a good home. Not because of chance, but because of high costs and other very real barriers. A housing crisis this big needs all of us. So let's open the door to opportunity and build a tomorrow where home is possible for everyone. Visit Habitat.org to learn more. Again, that's Habitat.org. Habitat for Humanity. Let's open the door.
Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT 820, where facts matter.
If you're listening to this station right now, you've definitely heard my voice before. Hi, I'm Hawk.
And I'm Pete. And we're with Source Solar, your local source for solar. Source Solar is Chicagoland's premier solar installer, providing solutions for over 1,000 homeowners and business owners across Illinois and Iowa.
With over a decade of industry experience and deep roots here in Chicago, we have the expertise to help your transition to clean, renewable, resilient energy.
We can guarantee that we save you money day one without any out-of-pocket cost to you. This means you have an instant ROI, instant payback, and can save money to add to your bottom line day one.
At Source Solar, we source everything as local as possible, meaning we always carry the Made in USA sticker.
Find us online at www.source.solar. Stop in our office at 5710 North Northwest Highway or give us a call at 773-985-3992.
And don't forget to ask for Hawk
or Pete.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us as we continue our conversation here on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal and Drive It Home on KKNW 1150 in Seattle and KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul. And we're also grateful for our friends tuning in digitally on Facebook, YouTube, and now Minocqua Brewing Company Substack. Joining me in studio is the Midwest chair for the Victory Fund, Ken Mejia Beal. And when I mentioned who we were having on the show, Ken's face lit up because we have on the line with us Democratic nominee for the Michigan House of Representatives, District 2, Southeastern Michigan, Joanna Whaley. Am I saying your name correctly? First of all, I should have asked that.
You nailed it. Way to go.
Excellent. So this is exciting. You've got, well, let me ask you about yourself. Where did you grow up, my friend?
Well, I grew up, born and raised here in the state of Michigan, had a couple stops around the country. But yeah, I grew up here, and I'm really looking forward to serving my community here come November.
Well, congratulations
on
winning the primary. And you're not running on a slogan. You're running on your utility bill, your grocery bill, whether you can see a doctor without going broke. First, you are a hospital chaplain. So tell me a little bit about your background. And, when you were growing up, it sounds like you were surrounded by the sense of wanting to serve people, to care for them.
Yeah, well, we buried the lead a little bit here. So for those who are listening, I'm a trans woman, and I did what every aspiring trans woman does and hopes to be. I became an evangelical pastor at the age of 17.
As you do.
As you do.
As you do.
And,
yep.
So I had this long career within religious spaces. But about 5 years ago, I got outed by someone in my congregation, fired from my job, and had to figure out what to do, where to pick up my life, where to go. And that's when I discovered clinical spiritual care, and ended up working in our area local hospitals. Got a degree, and was off to the races from there.
Man. Okay. So were you raised evangelical?
I was raised Catholic. So,
okay.
My grandmother grieved when I left for a rock and roll church. And then I grieved for being in the rock and roll church for after many years after being out of it.
Yeah, I that's just heartbreaking, and yet, I mean, just the energy behind people just wanting to hurt others. I mean, that's got to be just challenging. I mean, for everybody, but also in a situation where it's been politicized to a degree that is incomprehensible to me. It really isn't. Ken and I were talking about this earlier. He says that our brains are too big. That's why we can't understand hatred.
I think our brains are. I think if your brain is too big, hatred you will never grasp it the way someone with a small brain does.
Well, I'm definitely taken that one with me. Yeah. And I think an important part of the story is, in that 20 years of being in pastoral roles, I endured 15 years of Christian conversion therapy.
Boy.
And in that, and that was all when it was legal here in the state of Michigan. And thankfully, those laws have changed. We still have some way to go. And I do look forward to being a part of making some of those rules and laws a little more tough here in the state of Michigan.
Thank you.
And you mentioned that we buried the lead. How do I put this? For me, I wouldn't say I don't introduce somebody as being my a black guest or a male guest or I'm saying, so a trans, so I don't know necessarily, like I get clumsy with Ken will tell you I get clumsy with a lot of things, I have to say.
I'll tell you off air. I'm just joking. Patty's great.
So because and we actually welcome we host the only trans radio host in the country. We have
we do.
Ellie Krug is on Saturdays, and when Ellie interviewed me, she asked me when did I become an advocate, and I remember being not an advocate, not like I don't know the opposite. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I've never thought these aren't like everyone deserves to have an advocate.
Right.
To be an ally. Right. Everyone deserves an ally, and I'm not unless you're hateful. The only intolerance I have, Joanna, the only intolerance I have, I can't tolerate the intolerant. I'm
the same boat.
That's really where it is. That's how I am.
Yeah, and when you get into politics, you enter into a space where you have to navigate a lot of intolerance, and I try to have some grace in that space for folks, and maybe that is my pastoral training and background.
It is.
I come from, I was in the Christian evangelical right-wing space, right? I had a pastor who said, you cannot be a Christian and a Democrat, right? Or else you'll go to hell. Like that is, I had a pastor say that.
Right.
But to allow myself to evolve away from that was really important work. And there were people along the way that opened that space for me. So I'm glad that, I had folks willing to let me ask the dumb questions along the way. And I try to do that as well, especially as I'm, not that they're dumb questions, but ask the questions that feel like, oh, that's not how I would word it, right? But just to open that space for folks to say, like you may not agree with who I am, but I'm going to allow you to ask your questions in this space.
Because from the inside, there isn't, for me, it just seems so exhausting. We all have our level of having to questions about things. Like, for example, I have a child with disabilities, right? So when people stare or they, say rude things, whatever, I sort of have I have to do the same thing.
There's a wall.
Oh, I hit walls, but
I hit too.
Yeah. And so I understand your idea about grace. Like there are times when I'll try to indulge somebody who has questions.
Yes.
And then I hit a wall. Exactly.
I hit the wall.
So, your very existence and how do you manage having to answer questions or try to? What I'm saying is, it's always having to educate people is what it feels like, which is a lot of work.
And as I step into this role, I understand that there are many folks that it is not the responsibility of LGBTQ people to educate others.
Correct.
But I do understand that stepping up to be a lawmaker, I am going to be stepping into spaces where I am doing a lot of education, and I'm willing to take that role on for folks that might be trying to do the research, but they don't have, they're looking in spaces that their algorithms are feeding them, right? So we have to make sure that, that we have people stepping into those gaps to say, I'm going to teach you from my point of view.
Right.
I think that's really important in this time.
I appreciate it. And it makes sense. And also visibility. Ken and I talk about visibility.
Visibility is important.
We can talk about legislators who've been we have a trans legislator in DC, and I know it was, I'm trying to remember, Montana also was a big battleground for a trans legislator in the state house.
Yep.
Yeah. And because they like the whole idea of being just so gross about bathrooms. Let's not get it.
I can't. Can I just say, and Joanna, you'll get a kick out of this. I was at World Pride in Amsterdam, and it was so hilarious to me. Every establishment I went into in Amsterdam had unisex bathrooms. Like there was no male and it was like, and look, and everything is fine.
Right.
Everyone made it.
All of our houses have them. So
yeah. It's crazy.
Well, and so I guess all that was to say that, the issues that you were talking to people about, in addition to having, the conversations that are educational or trying to, gently remind folks that whether if they're Christian, where does the Bible say that there's any problem with someone's very existence? Don't get me started. But you talk about But you talk about how this race is. Your messaging is also about how this race is about affordability, not identity. So talk to us a little bit about what's going on in Allen Park or Melvindale right now. What are people telling you at the doors and your events?
Yeah, I like to say that people, especially in this primary, they did not vote for history. They didn't vote for identity. They voted because I'm showing up to do the work and I'm showing up and speaking about their issues. And who I am is not even a consideration for folks. They want to know, because right now we have this utility company here in the state of Michigan as a monopoly utility called DTE, and they are wreaking havoc on everyone's budgets right now. They continually ask for more and more money, giving us worse and worse product while they slap their names on stadiums, send us mail about how to save money, and just keep, raising our prices while their executives are floating on yachts, right?
Yeah.
This is not okay. As we are trying to choose, can I pay for my kids' insulin? Do I have to put the strawberries back in the cart because I just got this bill today, right? That's what people are talking about. They're worried about that. They can't afford this life. And then the other part of it is healthcare. I work in the healthcare industry, right? And we're going to fall off a cliff in healthcare here very soon. Once the big BS bill hits, it's going to be a mess. And so I am advocating for single payer healthcare here in the state of Michigan called MyCare. If we cannot get it passed at the federal level, and my dear friend Abdul El Sayed and a lot of the our folks in DC are trying to move that forward, we're going to do it at the state level if the federal government can't get it together.
This is what I've asked legislators in Springfield about, and they're like, well, there's no energy for it.
There's a lot of energy. The legislators in Springfield that say that are being paid. And I said what I said, and you don't have to say it.
That's what I heard from the legislator that I ran against.
Right there is the issue. These two issues that people in my community are asking for help with, they've had state legislators at the state house and the state senate level who take DTE's money and they take the healthcare industry's money. And guess what? They take their lunches and they get wined and dined by them all the time. I take $0 of their money. I met a healthcare lobbyist yesterday in Lansing. And I pretty much made it clear, this is probably our only conversation we're ever going to have, right?
Good.
Because I'm not interested in helping your industry. I'm interested in helping my neighbors be able to afford their life.
Yeah, and that's the thing is with the area that you're running in, and the kind of labor that folks participate in, and how choices in DC are affecting their lives, their paychecks. What are you hearing from folks about? I'm guessing there are also folks who voted for this who say I voted for this until they're like, wait, I didn't vote for this. Are you getting some of the
buyer's remorse?
FAFO,
yeah. Or that.
And folks won't. Many voters will not be moved until their pocketbook is hit.
Right.
Yep. And so what we're living in right now is called, many economists are calling it a K economy. What that means is that the rich are getting richer while the rest of us are doing worse and worse. Right. And so what's happening right now, you look at most of our sectors, they're being bought up and consolidated. This is something that's really become a problem here in the state of Michigan. We have hospital systems that are continually consolidating. We have all these companies buying each other out. And what they're doing is that they're just cutting jobs and replacing them with part-time contingent jobs. And people cannot find work here. And then you bring in this existential threat of AI. And this hit my community head on in the city of Allen Park. One of these big billionaire corporations tried to bring an AI data center in here and just ram it through. But our community showed up, our campaign organized, and we raised up voices by the hundreds each and every meeting and eventually got them to withdraw and deny the proposal. And I think that's what it's going to take. It's going to take people saying, enough, you're screwing us. We cannot continue to live like this while our executives are getting more and more and more of our hard-earned money and you pay us less. And so that's hitting the working class here in the state of Michigan harder than ever, especially in the auto industry, which is why we also have to uphold our labor unions and make sure that people have access to them.
Really a great message, and I love the work that you do, both in running for this position for office. But again, we're talking to Joanna Whaley, who is a Democratic nominee for the Michigan House of Representatives. You can go to JoannaWhaley.com. That's Joanna, 2 N's, JoannaWhaley.com. And do you have a preferred social media? Is there
all of them?
All the platforms.
Just not X. Forget about that.
Yeah,
no X.
I let my account lapse there for sure. I
think
agree.
I have like 2 followers on there, so please don't follow me there.
No worries.
Again, Joanna will be the first trans woman elected to the state legislature, and we would love to check in with you again. I want to give you an opportunity to take about a minute or so, whatever you'd like to tell your voters, the people in your community, and those who might be able to support you by visiting your website and contributing money, and ask for their vote, ask for their time, and ask for their money is what I learned when I ran for office. So
let's do it.
So tell folks your vision.
Yeah, and I know many of the listeners may not be living in my district, but if you're hearing my voice, I think you need to know that there are people running for office that we need right now. I'm hearing from all over the state of Michigan, folks saying that, they don't feel represented by their representatives. And so I've told them I will be your voice in Lansing. And that is what I hope to see statewide across the country, is that we are electing people who are showing up and being our voice. And to my community, for those who are going to listen to this, just know that I am coming after our utility companies, and I'm going to fight for you to have access to health care. I'm going to protect everyone's freedom in the state of Michigan, and we need to make sure we're doing that across the country.
Outstanding. Jay, it was really a pleasure to meet you. I look forward to touching base with you again. We want to do at least, if not more, but at least once a month, and we'll talk to you in September again after Labor Day.
Thank you to Victory Fund for all their help.
Oh, yeah, Victory Fund. Tell folks about how they can support the work and what you do.
Well, you
there.
can go to victoryfund.org /candidate/Joanna-Whaley and find out more information there. And once again, as a campaign chair, supporting people like Joanna is the reason I love doing what we do at Victory Fund and the campaign world, because we need more Joannas. We need you, Joanna, in every state. And because at the end of the day, it's about making sure folks can pay their bills.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is all about. There's no that if there is a gay agenda, if there's an LGBTQ agenda, our agenda is making sure that we all can pay our bills. There you go. That's the agenda.
I also, I did an event not too long ago, and I talked about how, like, with that is also that everything really comes from love. At least from the people that I talk to, they want to pay their bills because they love their families.
Yes.
They want their families to be happy, healthy, and safe. They love their communities. They love their country.
They love eating.
I'm talking about the folks that don't have their hearts filled with hatred.
Got it.
Right. But even the people who do, there is they're coming from some sort of love.
Yeah, that's true.
So thank you so much, Joanna, for taking on the challenge of running, of being such a fierce fighter for some of the things that I believe in as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And we can't wait to be along for the ride to elect the first trans woman elected to the state legislature of Michigan. Thank you, my friend. We'll talk to you again soon. Be well.
Have a great evening.
More after this on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKNW 1115 Seattle, KTNF AM 19 Minneapolis, St. Paul. All those words blended together, and you understood them. Hi to our friends who are tuning in on Facebook, YouTube, and now Minocqua Brewing Company Substack, and of course all of our friends tuning in on podcasts on our website, heartlandsignal.com. More with Ken Mejia Beal, the Midwest Chair for the Victory Fund, after this.
Joan Esposito, live, local, and progressive.
I am very pleased to welcome Illinois Congressman Eric Sorensen, Congressman Jonathan Jackson, Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky, Congressman Mike Quigley represents Illinois' 5th District, Congressman Brad Schneider, Congressman Bill Foster, he represents Illinois' 11th District, and joins us now.
Joan Esposito, weekday afternoons 2 to 5 on WCPT 820.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
I think my biggest challenge was getting through to him to understand that love is real and you have goals in mind, you have things that want to happen, and I want to help you get there.
Sometimes people tend to shy away from wanting to adopt teenagers because they feel like they've lost so much, but there's still so much to gain.
Just knowing that there's just that other person that cares and loves me out there. It feels great. And they've done so much for me, and I can only be appreciative every single day for just having them in my life.
I think it's been the best decision because I gained a son, and he's the best son ever. If I was down and out, he'd be there.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
We all have someone we love, like the favorite lyric in our favorite song. You can't imagine life without them. Cancer screening tests can help keep the person you love around longer by detecting changes before cancer develops, or catch it early when it may be easier to treat. And many tests are available for free or are covered by insurance. It's time to sound like a broken record. Tell all your friends and family, I love you. Get screened. Visit cancer.org/getscreened to learn.
Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT 820, where facts matter.
Here's great news for those Chicagoans heading up to southern Wisconsin. Should you ever forget to load up on Progressive brews from the local favorites like Rogers Park Provisions or Park West Liquor in Lincoln Park, Minocqua Brewing Company beer is now conveniently available at Dream Liquor and Cigar in Kenosha and in the Lake Geneva area at Delavan Liquor and Smoke in Delavan. If the great town of Madison, Wisconsin is your jam, please remember to swing into the Minocqua Brewing Company tap room at 2927 East Washington Avenue to grab some Resistance beer, pizza, t-shirts, and Progressive camaraderie.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our drive home here on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal and KKNW 1150 in Seattle, KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul. And of course, we have all of our friends tuning in digitally on Facebook, YouTube, and Minocqua Brewing Company Substack. Joining me in studio is the Midwest Chair for the Victory Fund, Ken Mejia Beal.
Love what I do. I love it.
Are you traveling anytime soon for the work that you do?
Oh, yeah. We'll be in Wisconsin, Michigan, Indiana, and what's that other state? Iowa.
Okay.
Over the next 3 months.
Oh, I am so sad. I totally forgot to tell my friends in Iowa that I can't make it for the Wing Ding tomorrow in Iowa, which is it's in Mason City, Iowa, at the Surf Ballroom. If folks want to find their way,
that sounds like fun.
It's really fun. It's an incredible venue. It's the last performance space that Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper performed at before they boarded the plane in Iowa. That was
the day the music died.
That's it. And it's a really great venue. We were there last year. Mark Kelly is actually going to. Mark Kelly is actually going to be speaking tomorrow.
Yes, from Arizona.
No, yeah, he's from Arizona.
Yes.
I'm like I said, Iowa.
No. I'm just keeping everyone in the loop. He has a very common name. I'm with
states.
you. I'm with you.
I feel
we're working together.
I appreciate it. So I'm very excited about all those races.
Yeah,
Iowa looks good too.
Iowa's starting to look good. I mean, things are looking good, but that's because when you give the voters a choice and you give the voters hope, they will vote for you.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
So do you hear that, establishment? Stop trying to ruin primaries. Stop trying to ruin primaries, establishment Dems. They actually help voter turnout. Stop it.
Stop it.
Primaries are good for the party. They're good for the nation. They're good for democracy.
Fair ranked choice voting.
Looking directly, and ranked choice voting will save America.
Thank you. I think that a lot of that, because I was just thinking, even with those numbers, I told you that in 2018, it was about a little over 500,000 Democrats voted in the primary, and 42% voted for Evers, which means he didn't even get a simple majority.
Right.
You want to know that your voter, you're getting half. Right?
Yeah.
That's the thing about ranked choice voting. And I really was impressed that there were over 800,000 Democrats.
It's an amazing thing.
Fantastic.
I think, and you know, whether the person you want to wins or not. I mean, we don't have time for it. I do believe, and Marie Newman wrote a great article about it. I think county, state, federal parties should stay out of these races in general and let the voters decide, and then the party comes in and supports who the people support.
You know how I feel about that.
Not the way it works. I think that we should get elected officials out of party positions. I think elected officials have no business being in party business.
They're in Chicago. That's such the stock and trade.
I said what I said. I don't think it should be happening.
I agree.
it's kind of like you are the butcher and the what do you call it? The person that's supposed to take care of the animals. I don't know. I'm using the wrong analogy. The shepherd. You're the shepherd and the butcher. You can't be the shepherd and the butcher.
And so many of them feel like they're very butchery. Thank you so much.
Well, they're all butchers in the end.
Ken Mejia Beal, it's always a pleasure to have you on Wednesdays. I'll see you again next week.
I'll see you next week, and I'll see some of you tomorrow night at the Skeleton Key Brewery for 90s Music Night in Woodridge.
What's some of your favorite 90s music? I'm trying to think.
Okay, so huge Madonna fan. Love Garth Brooks, Shania Twain. Oh my God, it's all happening. NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, 90s, Arrested Development.
Oh, nice. I love this list.
TLC, Shaggy, Sting, which isn't quite 90s, but whatever. Jamiroquai, Busta Rhymes, Tupac, Biggie.
Ooh, before we
there
go.
You go.
Before we go, tomorrow on Tuesday, Jennifer Palka, board chair and advisor at Recoding America Fund, advisor to the Abundance Network. You can check in tomorrow with Richard Chu from 6 to 8 a.m. Central. And he'll also have Heather Williams, president of the Democratic Legislative Campaign Committee. Joan is going to talk to retired Army Major General Randy Manner, former acting vice chair of the National Guard Bureau, as well as Dr. John Murphy, professor of communication at the University of Illinois. Thank you, Ken Mejia Beal. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Have a great evening. Love you, Lady B. Bye.
Real talent is defined by what people can do, not where they learn to do it. So by stopping at the education section of a resume,